Welcome back. I know that's a crazy title, but it's based on this question that someone actually asked online. Looking to completely transform my mindset in life, what small habits, daily routines, and shifts in perspective actually made you more disciplined and self aware? I need to fundamentally change how I approach my daily life, my mindset, in a way I treat myself. I want to build genuine inner strength, stop getting distracted by things that don't serve me, and become a much better, happier version of who I am. I'm looking for practical, real life advice on building discipline. What specific habits or rules helped you stay consistent when motivation vanished? Increasing focus and awareness. How did you learn to catch yourself before falling back into old, toxic, or unproductive patterns? Daily routines. What does a realistic daily routine look like for you that keeps you grounded and productive? Small wins. What are tiny, seemingly insignificant micro habits that surprisingly had a massive positive impact on your life? We're going to go through that in this video. I want to say is that these are skills that you need to improve any area of your life at any phase. You can use these skills, and they're also important steps for sustainable habits for your weight loss journey. So that's what I cover on this channel. I let your health support your life. So everything's lined up with, what you want to do and you actually follow through. But it has to start with you and what you want, not a poll of internet strangers. You can't just ask the internet all these questions and get something that works for you. Whether that's new habits, health habits, life habits, skills, anything you want to do has to start with things that are based on what you want. So what we're going to cover in this video: first, start with the vision for what you want your life to look like. Two, second, create systems to make those actions easier and more rewarding to do. And three, pick realistic actions that help you to build it. And another one, for create systems to make those actions easier and more rewarding to do. I'll break these down for you so you can start transforming the life you're living into the life that you want. Long intro. Let's get into it. My name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help you stay consistent with weight loss without relying on motivation. Let's jump into this first topic here. One, start with the vision for what you want your life to look like. Most important thing, most commonly overlooked, is not thinking about the big context, big picture of what you want. So if you are focused on habits or being productive, in quotes, or staying busy or any of that, but you don't have a vision for what you're doing, then you're just going to be busy. You're just going to be doing stuff that doesn't add up to the life that you want to build. So you have to start with this vision in mind, or else why are you doing it? And that's a question that will come up for you. You'll be like, why am I doing this? All this stuff that I don't know if it has any impact. You get motivation from having a clear vision for what you want to do. This is the motivation. It's the context that makes you want to follow through because it's important. Once you have the vision set first, then you can go on to other steps and understand why you're doing those things. If you don't do that, you're going to feel like, why am I doing anything? You get stuck when you're using motivation to mean whether you feel like doing something like in an emotional sense versus something that's connected to your vision, your big picture, your mission, your values, what's most important to you, the people you love, the impact you want to have, right? Think bigger, not just like grinding through trying to make yourself do things and feel like doing things. And that's not where real motivation comes from. So that's the first tip. Start with the vision for what you want your life to look like. Two, create systems to make those actions easier and more rewarding to do. All right. Build your own routine and weekly schedule based on your needs. If you're polling internet strangers, you're going to be off track with this. So the question to ask after what do you want your life to look like is, how do your daily habits support that life that you want to build? What are you doing every day? And does that match the life that you want to build? Or is it taking you away from it, or not a good match? Right. So this will happen. To keep this clear, when you're talking about like a weight loss goal, it's not necessarily that you have to do a bunch of stuff for weight loss per se explicitly, right? It's that what you want to do on a daily basis in terms of how you eat and how you live and how you move, your daily activity levels. You want those habits to support the results that you want and the life that you want to lead. If you want to be active and do cool stuff, be fit, be able to play sports, then you have to do things on most days in a habit that supports that helps you build that life. On the other hand, if you are constantly doing things that like you're eating a lot of extra calories and extra foods and less healthy snacks and kind of things that you might not feel are healthy for you, then that supports a less healthy outcome. And those are the results that you're going to get. Those are just consequences of your daily choices. Now, not to feel guilty or anything, there are also environmental and genetic factors, but we do want to consider this. How do your daily habits support what you want your life to look like? If you're not thinking about this, then you don't really have a chance to get on the right track with it. So, to do this, you pick your own small wins. Now, these are objectives, right? The specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound objectives. So if you're just polling Reddit, you're getting random ideas that aren't relevant to you. It's just what works for other people or what makes other people feel accomplished in the vision for their own life, right? So you want to make sure that you are focusing on what works for you and what's important to you. Similarly, if you are trying to do something like lose weight and you want to change your diet and you're going to cut out all sugars, is that the life that you want to lead? That's back to that vision one. And also, is it achievable? Like, how long are you never going to eat sugar again? Or are you never going to drink another soda? Like, again, even on like your birthday or some kind of celebration or a holiday or vacation, you're traveling, right? Is it achievable? You want to make sure that it covers all five of these areas. That's how you build habits to support the life that you want. Don't skip that step because then you'll be off track wondering if something's wrong with you. All right, I shuffled these around, but the fourth one I have is create systems to make those actions easier and more rewarding to do. Make it easy and rewarding to follow through with your plans when it comes to these goals here. And this is the big part. They were talking about self awareness. When you know what it takes in order to make those things easier to do, then you have compassion for yourself. The question that comes up next that you want to ask is, how can you set yourself up for success? A lot of people will work around this in a less effective way and feel bad when something doesn't work out. And it's because they haven't made the actions easy or rewarding to do. All right. So think about, what do you like to do? That's what makes things fun, right? Rewarding. Or how can you make it easier to do it, easier to start? How can you take a smaller step in progress so you enjoy it and you're more likely to follow through, instead of thinking of it as like some big, giant, difficult task to start? It's a giant leap from what you used to do. Just take a small step, and that's how you get on track, right? It's not an all or nothing approach where you're jumping right into it or suffering, trying to be tough, struggling with what you think is, what you're guessing is a good idea or something that you should be able to do, right? It's nothing like that. It's, what do you like to do? How can you make it easier? What steps can you take in the process? One approach, something to think about, is what makes social media such a convenient way to spend time. If you're on YouTube now, you're looking at it, what makes it easy for you to watch a whole bunch of videos in a row? Like, what gets you started, what gets you to continue and spending a lot of time? Or Instagram or any of those social media platforms, or Netflix, right? How do they get it so it's so simple to start and that keeps you on track with that habit, even though that might not be a habit that's actually helping you build your goals? These things are built to be very catchy, addictive, anything like that. And that's how you build habits that are easy to start, rewarding, repeatable, enjoyable, and more likely to do over and over again. All right. Discipline is overrated. A lot of people will ask questions about, how can I be more disciplined? You're already disciplined to your current habits. You don't have to do stuff to become more disciplined. What you have to do is create a system that you are more disciplined in, right? It's a better system that makes you want to do easier things than what you've been doing, or it's more fun, more enjoyable, or more valuable. Any combination of those things is discipline. And that's repeating habits that you find rewarding, functional, and easy to follow through with. Right. The next thing to talk about is not about catching yourself before falling into old habits. This is one way to look at it that can be misleading. What you want to do is have real plans so you're more likely to do the habits that you want. Now, when you talk about not falling into old habits, that's a very avoidance based approach to transforming your life and losing weight, right? But if you are shifting your plans to things that you're more likely to follow through with, then that makes it harder for you to do the old habits and easier to do the ones that you're intending to do. right? And that's what makes it more fun to do. All right. Anytime you try new things, you will make mistakes when you build the skill. This is something to keep in mind. It's easy to get discouraged if you try a new habit and then it's not as easy or fun as old habit. So you go back to the old habit, or something happens where it's just like you're used to another routine that you used to have and you haven't switched to the new one consistently yet. This is common. This is a relapse. Happens anytime you're doing habit change. You have to understand that and appreciate that and make adjustments when you do the old behaviors instead of quitting from slippery slope fallacy and beating yourself up. People will be like, oh, I'm so bad at this. I'm so stupid. I don't know what's wrong with me, right? And maybe there's nothing wrong with you. It's just part of the process of habit change. When you know this, this helps. Also, if you make one mistake, that doesn't mean you have to blow up the rest of the day or the week, right? You don't start on Monday or the beginning of the new year, which a lot of people do. You just get back on track with your specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound goals immediately, and you make adjustments. Make adjustments when you do old behaviors. Don't beat yourself up or give up on the rest of a time period. All right. So that's something to like just stay focused on when you install new habits and you're trying new behaviors and you're having a hard time. You can get back on track pretty readily if you focus on taking the right next step. Another thing with that, you only lose if you give up. Keep practicing. I say that a lot on this channel. It's about to practice to develop new skills instead of giving up or quitting, taking an extended break that's not going to help you build the skills. So what happens when you're building skills, you're making adjustments, you're shifting your habits, you're repeating and building new habits to keep them sustainable. So keep practicing there. And that's how you transform your mindset and pick habits and routines that build the life that you want. So that is a quick overview, pretty thorough actually, on how you do it, what you need to do in order to transform your life. Start with a vision that you want, create systems to make those actions easier and more rewarding to do. Pick realistic actions that help you to build it. We went through that as smart objectives, and then create systems to make those actions easier and more rewarding to do. And that's what I was really driving home at the end of the video. Let me know if you have questions with that. I teach this for weight loss, but applies to all areas of your life. These habit change skills and behaviors can really make an impact in anything that you do. If you want to practice the skills with me, start with learning what makes you inconsistent with the real life weight loss check to help you identify what's getting in your way so you know what to focus on next. That's linked below. Now, if you struggle with staying on track, next you can watch Why You Lose Weight, then go back to old habits. I'll put that video here. That's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.